Siyabonga Mthembu and his business partner have what they say is a winning strategy to fight joblessness. Through their business, Prominent Holdings, they bake scones. Using some unemployed people in the community, they use them as distribution points in various street corners of Tembisa Township.
Baking came as an idea for the season because like we were manufacturing amalons and beverages, and then we noticed when it's winter, beverages are not moving as much, so we decided to be innovative. We tried baking, and a year later we're still pushing baking, so that's how we got into baking. We moved from selling 200 to 1,000, so it shows good like there's a market. Our distribution model, we have people who are selling my street corners, so we're keeping it gassy. Even though we're considering like to have our bakery in a busy spot, but for now we bake from here and we go out and distribute them to people who are selling in different corners.
Mthembu describes the constant interruption of power as highly frustrating for a young business such as his. He is more worried that stage 6 will hit revenue hard.
With the number of 1,000 cases that we are pushing, we have at least like 9 to 10 people in different spots selling. But sometimes maybe load shedding start hitting us while maybe maybe like let's say 200 cakes. It means the other 9 people won't be working for that time. So it's affecting us in terms of like distributing enough to our people.
The same sentiment is echoed by the manager at Ndifi Holdings Internet Cafe nearby. Lawrence Walter Nziane says they cater for students and job seekers alike for their internet usage needs. He says they exist to cater for this need in Tembisa.
We definitely gonna go through some tough time, hence we depend also in electricity. So if there is no electricity, it means that we are also going to go through some tough times. Even now it was really affecting us, but then it was not really that bad. So hence now we are going to another stage, it's gonna be really bad.
With the cost of fuel also increasing at a sharp rate, Nziane says a generator is not an option either.
We have to close completely, hence we don't really have a generator. And a generator is another thing as well. It requires petrol, as you can tell, even the rate of petrol is a bit high now, so it's a stress on its own.
Mthembu also bemoans the cost of ingredients like cooking oil escalating sharply. He says even though the costs of producing are increasing, he cannot pass on the cost to the consumer.
We used to buy flour for like 120. Now we're buying flour for 150. That's 30 rand more. Cooking oil is even worse. It moved from 65 to 100 rand. It's 100 rand for each 2 liter now. So with that, like we find ourselves like having a challenge moving products at the same amount. So we had to take our prices up, but at some point we saw a resistance from our customers. So we used to, as I say, we used to sell 1,000, but at some point we moved to selling 200 cakes, and selling these 200 cakes, it was no guarantee because not everyone is willing to pay for like 4 rand for a cake. Up until we started like moving things around in terms of ingredients, we're tweaking here and there, and we got to a point where we got it right, so our price is back to 3 rand. But honestly, it's not as it was.
Eskom says stage 4 load shedding will be implemented at 5 a.m. on Thursday until midnight. Thereafter, stage 2 will kick in on Friday morning until 5 a.m. Diabo Seto, SABC News, Johannesburg.